I mean, everybody's like, man, ain't no, he got no chance. Tank told you a couple of days earlier, hey, you not going the distance. Y'all shake, pretty little 250, whatever the case may be. You go into that fight, you know Tank's a slow starter, builds up as the fight progresses. Know he's trying to land, hook to the body, come up top with him. I thought even without the knockdown, I thought he won it. I thought he had. I mean, look, I know Tank landed punches, but
because he was aggressive.
Roach was the more aggressive fighter.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero.
Shannon Sharpe's criticism of Gervonta Davis for skipping a rematch with Lamont Roach was unrelenting. She maintained that the fight should take place, especially given Roach deserved the victory should the knockdown have been counted. Sharpe called out Davis for ducking difficult battles, saying it was time to stop running away from actual challenges and give supporters the rematch they are due.
If they have a rematch.
Yeah, I mean, they have to, huh?
But look, there's enough fighters in that class. You got Lomachenko, you got Shakur, you got Haney, you got Garcia, you got Tank, you got Roach. Come on, man, make these damn fights happen. Stop ducking and dodging each other. What the?
Sharpe's criticism takes even more weight considering even Tank himself confessed that Lamont Roach has greater capabilities.
Press conference, and you looked at him and you said, you really should have waited. You took this fight too early. You really should have waited. That's what you told him before the fight, and then you went and put him to sleep. This cat right here, Lamont Roach, he ain't saying something like that about you, is he? He's not doing that, is he?
No, but Lamont had more experience than Roach. I mean, I'm bugging. Lamont had more skills than Frank Martin, for sure.
Okay. I got you.
Many boxing fans and experts think Gervonta Davis will probably avoid a rematch with Lamont Roach given his track record of sidestepping tough. This view is supported by his past decisions, such not pursuing a second fight against Ryan Garcia or other high-risk opponent over his career.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again. He will not fight Lamont Roach again. He will not fight Tefimo. He will not fight, He will not fight those guys. That's just not who Tank is.
Many supporters were let down by Davis's poor performance against Lamont Roach, casting questions on his continued ability. The lack of longtime trainer Calvin Ford simply encouraged conjecture that Davis struggled without direction. Others believe Ford's departure played a role in Davis not looking as sharp as before.
So Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach goes to a majority decision draw, with Tank retaining his WBA lightweight title. Now, I did not score this fight a draw. I had it 7-5 to Lamont Roach. I thought he had the ring generalship and effective pressure. He was landing the jab and effective combinations. Tank, as usual, had a very low output, and he was relying on one big shot. I gave Roach the first 3 rounds, Tank the next 3 rounds, and then Roach 4 the last 6 rounds to win the fight. Not to mention, Tank did take a knee in the middle of the fight. By rule, that should have been considered a knockdown. Yes, it was to get his mouthpiece, and that's why they didn't rule it a knockdown. But anytime a fighter takes a knee, that's a knockdown. And that would have given Roach 1 more point to win the fight. Now, I'm sure they'll run it back. I mean, Lamont Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. He just had the fight of his life. He wasn't scared to go toe-to-toe with Tank. Landing his combinations, the bigger counters, and the more effective shots. He definitely deserves a second payday. Now, in the co-main event, Gary Antoine Russell put on an amazing performance. I think he won 11 or 12 rounds against Ryan Valenzuela. Great hand speed, good combinations, masterclass to win the WBA title. And then in the featured bout, Alberto Puello beat Sandro Martin to retain his WBC title. He landed the cleaner left hands, definitely won the last 2 to 3 rounds to edge the fight. But overall, good card. I do think Roach won the fight, though.
Heron Davis attacked Tank. Davis stating he lacked focus during the bout against Lamont Roach. He stated that Tank's mindset wasn't totally in the ring, which may have harmed his performance. Many fans believing distractions outside of boxing contributed to his troubles during the highly awaited battle.
I feel like Tank overall, like the bigger picture, he just wasn't focused for real. He, doing a lot of arguing in the ring and just a lot of stuff that wasn't like, he wasn't just focused. He wasn't all the way locked in the ring. You heard him say something like, it's a lot of things going on outside the ring that he was leading up to the fight, and shit, that's natural, you know what I'm saying? It's normal. Shit, I was going through the same thing with this last fight, you know, so I just feel like he just wasn't focused.
The first battle between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach received great interest, culminating in a pay-per-view PPV by rate of 149,000. While respectable, these numbers fell short of expectations, leading discussions about the elements driving the event's commercial.
So, Rick Glazer is reporting that Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach sold 149,000 pay-per-view buys. And he tweeted this report at Turkey Island Chic. Coincidence? Truthful? Do you trust Rick Glazer's reporting on this issue? If you do, let me know why. If you don't, let me know why not. But you best believe I have a long video coming on this later today. Y'all be sure to check that out. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.
In the lead-up to their initial battle, Lamont Roach established a condition in the contract that enabled him an immediate rematch, expressing his readiness and excitement. Roach announced his willingness to face Davis again, emphasizing that the rematch would come at the option of Davis's camp.
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we take?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
When questioned about the potential of a rematch with Roach, John Davis showed concern. He suggested that he did not expect the rematch taking place during the current year, leaving fans and analysts speculating about his future plans. Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year? I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure. But hopefully, we could get it before now. It probably won't be this year. Is that the one you want next? That's the it's definitely the one I want next. But it's not going to be next. What is? You might see it in a minute. You absolutely might see it in a minute. Henry Garcia, a major member in the boxing community, expressed doubt regarding Davis's performance versus Roach. He emphasized the absence of Davis's longtime trainer Calvin Ford as a potential factor impacting his performance. Garcia also suggested that external issues outside the ring might have influenced Davis during the fight. There's no way you could say Tank won. There's no way. Do you think that he's diminished in some way, or do you think that just mentally he just wasn't there for the fight? Well, a little bit of both. His age is catching up to him. His legs aren't there as he used to be, and he switched his trainer. That's could be another factor. With Barry Hunter being the head trainer and Coach Calvin being outside. But he snapped it. Calvin too. So that's, there was something going on. I really don't know. And I couldn't really speculate on that because I don't know. But I know that something was bothering Tank because Tank is a good fighter. And he's out to hurt you. But hey, Lamont Roach stood his ground. And he did great job. Some boxing professionals have critiqued John Davis for allegedly cherry-picking opponents throughout his career. They argue that in this instance, Lamont Roach, perceived as a carefully selected opponent, presented unexpected challenges. This conclusion has led to suspicion that Davis may avoid a rematch to keep his pristine record. I think Tank been cherry-picking for a long time. But I think Tank got the skill to be an all-time great. He just don't want to have had a resume for some reason. So I think this is going to force him to go see it. It is show even his supporters. It sort of took that allure off, like, oh, this __. Not great. He can't just whoop anybody ass, like, what I'm saying. So yeah, and I think Lamont should have won the fight on the technicality. If it wasn't a knockdown, the ref wouldn't began counting. He started counting. He only stopped cause Tank urged him to stop. He said him __. No, like, no, stop __. He was like, my bad, you take away the jabs. Tank landed MOA per was higher. I'm all about connection. I think Tank did a better job in the fight. I gave Lamont maybe one of the early rounds. After rounds 6 and 7, I think Roach put in a very good work and kind of matched whatever Tank was doing, or Tank matched whatever Lamont started doing. The technicality, bro, that was different though during the initial fight between Davis and Roach Davis faced criticism for his performance, leading to a surprising reaction from his own fans. The stadium echoed with boos directed at Davis, reflecting the audience's disappointment and adding pressure for a potential rematch. Boxing superstar Gervonta doing this shows that it wasn't an outside strange occurrence, that it may just be a part of his DNA for him to get hit in amateurs and then take a step back and take a knee when he obviously wasn't hurt. It just shows to me that instead of gritting it out alright and possibly getting knocked out or taking those chances, he rather take a knee to disrupt the momentum and then start over. That's how I'm taking it. It can be a great strategy, or it can be the bully complex that when you meet somebody and they're not fearing you, or they're not retreating or backing away from you, and they're showing poise and the ability to withstand your output and give thumb back like any book, they kind of unravel. Canelo Alvarez weighed in on the controversy surrounding Davis's decision to take a knee during the fight. Alvarez opined that such an action should have resulted in a knockout ruling, implying that the referee's decision to overlook it was questionable. He take a KN, you need to lose like 108 that round at least, no, and plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face does a disqualification for sure. The 9th round of the Davis-Roach fight became a point of controversy. Davis took a knee which was not officially ruled as a knockdown. The New York State Athletic Commission, New York SOC, later admitted to a technical issue that prevented officials from properly reviewing the potential knockdown, further fueling debates about the fight's outcome to override his decisions or knockdown. Some skeptics have suggested that Willis's call benefited Davis unfairly, but we do not subscribe to that notion. In our long experience judging fights, we see no evidence of favoritism, only a referee prioritizing the physical safety of a fighter who appeared compromised by an eye injury, which I actually get. I understood that statement because, hey look, Steve Willis, just he didn't call it a knockdown. You take a knee like that, I look like a knockdown, alright. So I think it's going to be very difficult for the new State Athletic Commission to review this and then call it a knockdown, because here's the thing, the fight could have gone completely differently if Gervonta was told that it was a knockdown officially. Gervonta could have then responded differently, because let the truth be known, Gervonta didn't even know it was the 12th round. When it was the 12th round, he thought it was the 8th. Forgot where he was at. He thought he was still in the 8th round. He thought he still had rounds to go. 12th round, he said, damn, it's the 12th. Yeah, it's the 12th. And you're down. Addressing the 9th round controversy, John Davis explained that he took a knee because something got into his eye, and he didn't want it to be noticed. He admitted his lack of awareness regarding the potential consequences, stating, "But I didn't know I could get disqualified for this." This admission has sparked further debate about the fight's outcome, but I must have thr it enough. Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes? Or what was going on? I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning. And like you can't get knocked out like that, so I rather take the knee than but I didn't really know that you can get disqualified for all that. Or when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? Following their contentious bout, tensions between John Davis and Lamont Roach escalated on social media platforms, particularly at formerly Twitter. Both fighters engaged in public exchanges debating the outcome of their first fight and the possibility of a rematch, keeping fans and analysts engaged in the ongoing saga. He forget that, let me take a knee, that's a knockdown. But either way, it looked like they may have an immediate rematch. Roach and Gervonta Tank Davis goes back and forth on X, and here's what they say, which is, it seems to me that okay if the New York Athletic Commission overturns